I always feel like I'm like like an idling car.
You're
and
kind of
all
like...
of a sudden, like, the engine revs. You know.
I like
every podcast is going to be a new analogy.
I was going to say, I like the challenge that there's a new analogy for you every podcast. I like it. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Anthony and Austin's podcast.
What's up?
I'm Austin Flume, and with me is the one and only Ellipsis.
Anthony Gorman.
Very nice. Way to pick it up after the ellipsis.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So how's it going, Austin?
It's going pretty well, Anthony. How about you?
Pretty good.
So the first thing you did when you sat down here, you didn't even say hi. You said, Austin, and you slapped a piece of paper on the table, and you said, first at laser tag.
That's right. I'm very proud of that. So
let's talk about that.
My work group at work, a side
that
part
of
my position, is this team, we'll say, not to go into the boring details, but this team had an off-site team building exercise. And it was at one of those all-in-one fun zones, kind of like a Dave & Buster's, but it's got indoor go-karts, laser tag, bowling. So it's got like bigger things that something other places don't have, you know.
What was this place called?
It's called The Web. It's in Westchester.
I'm looking that up.
Yeah, do it. So we do our normal team building, you know, icebreaker type exercises and have lunch, which is pizza. I'm not used to eating that kind of stuff during whatever, but it was total like pizza from like lunchroom cafeteria, you know, where it's like the bread like resembles bread. You know, the crust is like, okay, my mouth recognizes this as like crust, but the taste sensors are like, there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
And then like the cheese is that oily whatever.
Yeah.
So the food was whatever, and I don't normally eat that stuff during the week, so I'm all kind of out of whack.
Yeah, you're a healthy guy usually.
I'm crazy today. My blood sugar's like going on like a roller coaster right now.
It's okay. Well, it makes sense because you went with your work group to a kid playhouse and ate pizza. Yeah. So, I mean, if your brain doesn't know how to make of that, then
exactly,
I kind of understand.
So it's kind of like, hey, dude, it's Thursday. What are you doing? And then
it's Thursday and you're 31 years old.
33.
Oh my God, even better.
Yeah, I might as well be 30. I'll be whatever you want.
You might as well be 18, Anthony, let's be honest.
So we did go-karting first, and I did okay. It was kind of hard to pass. It was pretty fun, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You did okay? So, like, what place did you come in?
So my average, it was, I guess in my group, we did 2 groups, and it was second, and then I'm not sure. So I was second or third, fourth, something like that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was all right. But I couldn't pass anybody except for this one point because the track wasn't that wide.
You didn't have enough space.
Whatever. But they were electric go-karts, so this is like all new to me, like indoor, because I used to like go-kart outdoors when I was younger.
Okay.
But so I wasn't sure how fun this was going to be, just because it's like a really short circuit, and they're just electric cars or whatever.
Right.
So we got in them, and it was pretty fast. It was pretty neat. So I was behind this dude, Max, and it was fun just working the accelerator and the brake just to be on his, ass. Like, I was all over him. He kept, like, turning around, and I was right there.
Was this just to spite this
I couldn't get past him, and what else am I going to do? So I just rode him. Like, I tapped, a couple times, but it was fun to, like, not hit, because that was one of the rules.
But get close.
Get close. And then it was like, he would just accelerate away from me, but then in a turn I would like lay on the brake late. Just like video game racing. It was tons of fun. Yep. I really loved it. And then after that was laser tag, and I don't remember the last time I've done laser tag. Just because we would go to Kings Island and we didn't want to spend money on laser tag when the rides are technically free at that point.
Yeah.
If you have a pass like we did.
Completely.
So we'd spend our money on candy and other, sugary things so we can go wild and crazy.
Understandable.
So I never really did laser tag growing up, except for, like, off parties here and there.
Yeah.
But I don't even really remember those. I just know it's happened. But...
Yeah. Laser tag's one of those things that doesn't happen a lot. It doesn't come around too often in your life.
Exactly.
Just random times, like when you're a kid or when you want to be ironic when you're a high schooler.
Yeah.
You go and play laser tag, but then you enjoy it way more than you think you will.
So, because there was It was 4-on-4 because some people didn't want to do it, which is understandable. And I didn't think so. There was rules. There's rules of no laying on the ground.
No
understandable.
AKs. Right.
No crouching. None of that.
No crouching.
Yes.
What do you mean no crouching?
Like that's just a standard procedure thing, you know.
Standard procedure.
Yeah, you just crouch down, boom, boom, boom. You know, get up, move to another position.
I don't understand. What's the logic behind no crouching?
No running. So if you're getting chased by a murderer with a laser weapon, you can't run. Apparently in this world, in their world they've created.
That's what the future is going to be like.
Exactly. Yeah. No running, like the government. No crouching. No laying down. You must walk.
Double plus good.
Exactly.
That sounds well. But it sounds like you still had fun despite all these rules.
Oh yeah. So the no running part kind of went out the window with some people, including myself. I didn't run per se, but I definitely, moved at a good scoot.
You did that fast walk like you do in high school, like through the hallways.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm not running. Principal's like, you're running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would do like a trot, but I would do like the foot over foot cross. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I was definitely
doing a lot of heel toe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun. And the piece of paper I slapped down when I got here was because Yoda, who was my backpack's name, because you got to put it back to where its backpack.
Did you name it that, or did it come?
No, it came that way, and I picked that one.
Okay.
So this backpack and gun was named Yoda. Okay. So when they gave us the picture, Yoda was number one, and I'm very proud.
That's fantastic.
And I kind of didn't allude to the fact because people asked other people if they played video games and things like that, and I kind of kept quiet and like whatever, and I listened to the rules very intently.
Silently.
And at the end, people were like, "Who's Yoda? Who's Yoda?" It was pretty funny.
Oh my gosh.
And so I was just like, first rule of video games: never stay still. So I would catch myself like staying in a corner, like because it was a good position.
Yeah.
And something kicked in my brain, like in a video game, where I was like, you move. You got to move.
Yeah,
like you shoot, kill, move.
Dude, they build up your instincts.
Exactly. And then if I would get hit, I would act like I was going one way behind a wall and then just instantly stop and then wait for a second and then go the other way.
Juking it out.
Yes. So the person would go the way they thought I was going because it was basically like a 5-second cooldown every time you got hit. You couldn't hit anybody else.
Yeah.
And then people started figuring that out.
Yeah.
So they would hit you, and it was good because you could hit someone, wait 5 seconds after they're under cover.
Hit them again.
Hit them again.
Boom.
So I would just do that fake, like, I'm going this way, and then like turn around, and then come up behind them. Oh, it worked like a charm.
Dude,
it's human instinct.
How long was this game?
It was 12 minutes. It felt like a half an hour.
Dang. So you built up all these strategies within that 12-minute period.
I didn't build them up. I mean, they're just from like
just
video game, from multiplayer, from like playing outside.
It's crazy.
Things like that. 100%. It kicked in. It was natural.
It's like instinct.
Yeah, 100%.
It's awesome.
Oh.
Fantastic. So question for you. Were there other people other than the people that you came with?
No. It was all people at
Okay, so it was all your work
company.
group. Got you. Because last time I went to laser tag, it's been years now.
Okay.
But it was me and my friends who were a bunch of dumb high schoolers that came for my birthday party.
Okay.
To be ironic, but also because laser tag's the bomb.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, now I know.
No, you know. We should actually go to laser tag sometime.
I'm down for that. Like if we get a group, like I think what you're about to allude to.
Yes.
Because if the party that went before us was a large number of kids.
Oh.
And they were
I was going to say, when we went, it was us, and then the rest of them were just, like, straight up kindergartners.
Yeah.
And those kids didn't stand a freaking chance.
Yeah, someone was
Those kids got eviscerated.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I thought, like, it could go either way if we were going to go with the kids. Like, either we're going to, like, destroy them, or there will be, like, whiz kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and put us to shame. But someone said they looked from like the observation window, and the kids were just basically just like shooting each other in the chest. But there were so many of them that it was like hard to hide, so it was just mayhem.
Yeah.
But 4-on-4 in this facility was really neat because there was a lot of space and like you heard screams off in the distance of people startling each other.
Oh my gosh.
From our work group.
Was it like,
genuine screams.
Was it like dark and foggy?
It was pretty dark. Like a lot of times I didn't know who I was shooting. I was just looking at the color of their lights.
Oh.
I got in kind of primal mode there. I was looking at chest and body movements. 100%.
Dude, that's sick.
It was fun. I could not believe it was a minute or two into it, and I was like, "Holy cow!" That I'm like clicking.
It's freaking awesome.
Like this is like I love this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean I grew up with GoldenEye multiplayer.
Yeah.
And like Halo on the maps back before online gaming, where we just link up everything. And these like core tactics apparently work in real life because it's like kind of set up like a video game multiplayer small field.
Like a Modern Warfare 2 Rust.
There's 2 levels. And then there's obstructions and hallways and rooms. And just like I just said with the...
Yeah.
I get killed and I act like I'm going one way. So like in like Halo, if I'm getting shot at, I would like go down this one hallway and there's like an exit the other way. So I would just... exactly what I said earlier.
You have to know the map.
And I was just like... I didn't think about it. I just did it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it was tons of fun. I was kind of surprised by how much fun I had with it.
That kills me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why like I want to go to one of those hardcore real life paintball places like they have in a couple different places spattered around the United States where you get paintball guns and it's like out in a giant field and there are fortresses and rocks and stuff to hide behind and you can just go to town and you have to put up with some pain but like it's so worth it.
Oh, I would love
I've never done it, but we have to take a field trip sometime to go do something.
That would be worth a trip. Just coming from this and like I've had 2 like non-official paintball where just some kids we went in the woods.
Yeah.
And just shot each other. But teams, like a team play like that would be tons of fun.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you had a good time at work today.
It was...
Like the records show that you got paid for all that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
But I think it's worth it. It builds morale.
Yeah, it was good. It was actually a really good team building events. Like, I'm not just saying that. We all had a good time, and we got to know each other really well. It's amazing what comes out in racing and competitive sports like that.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, yeah. I'll have to make myself a part of those groups so I can attend in the future.
Definitely.
Well, congratulations on your laser tag win.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to put a cap in that topic so far. And move on to the second topic, which is less fun and less good.
Austin, we can make anything fun.
In general. Well, you know, this is going to be, it's going to be fun to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Have no doubt. But it's less fun than it happened in the first place, so...
Oh, no.
I'm going to start this off in the same way that you started it off. And I'm going to rip out a piece of paper, right? I'm going to slap it on the table.
Okay.
This piece of paper does not say that I won a laser tag game.
That piece of paper looks a little official.
This piece of paper, if you look at it, it says State Highway Patrol, Ohio. It says your court date and time. And it says,
did you get hit with a camera?
Camera?
Oh, never mind. Sorry, Elise.
No, I think I got a speeding ticket.
In person? Okay.
In person? No, they texted it. Yes, in person.
Oh, it just does not look like a normal ticket from what I'm used to.
No, you know it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It looks really
weird. I thought
weird.
they came in the mail. Okay.
In the mail? Really?
I'm thinking like traffic cams.
Okay.
Speeding.
Oh, I know
guess
what
they
you're
don't
talking
really
about.
do that anymore.
I mean, they do that. They don't really do that. Like, I don't like where we're from, like Midwest. I don't really see too many traffic cams.
Yeah, I think Ohio got rid of it.
Yeah, but like places like when I went over to Boston and New York and like the East.
Okay.
You see a lot of like. You'll be driving by and you'll look up and you'll see like a flash because they just took a picture of you because you were speeding or something.
Yeah.
And I've never gotten a ticket through the mail like that, but like gotten a couple in person. So this is the second speeding ticket that I've gotten.
In life?
In life.
Okay.
Yeah, and in death, in life, and afterlife, all of it. It covers all the entire gamut of different things. But my conflict right now is there's like a court date on here.
Yeah.
I don't know how tickets work.
Okay.
But I've heard if I go to this court date and the cop just doesn't show up, I get out of it.
That is true.
So my question for you is, have you gotten any traffic tickets? And if you did, how did you handle them?
I always pay them.
Okay.
That's known, but I wouldn't chance it for that because you're going to lose if he does show up.
Yeah.
And
no way. Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of people do that, but you got to take out time of your day for the court date.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth it. So the ticket's probably $100 or under, right? Or you don't have to get the whole.
It's not gonna kill me to pay it. It's more the like potential insurance increase.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
And
that's what really sucks.
And also like just another thing on my license, it's not good.
Yeah, I don't really. It's the insurance thing that's really, cause when you add up the actual, the principle of all that, it becomes like an ugly number.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
It's part of life, though.
Yeah, I guess so, and it happens.
Just think of your previous payments as like bonus if you speed a lot.
Okay. And I don't speed too much, and this was just like 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. So it wasn't like I was going like 80 and a 30 or anything. It was just like, yeah, technically I'm speeding. Was it flow of traffic? Yeah, but I mean, am I technically still breaking the law? Yeah, so I can't really argue it.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, I was probably going to end up paying it, and that was my first, thing. But if there was any way to get out of it, I just kind of wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Honestly,
right.
Say you got like potential benefit to potential risk.
Yeah,
potential risk is like a waste of a lot of time, and then a court date. Is that even during working hours? Most likely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me check the date.
Waste of vacation. I
didn't think so anyway, but I figured like I've got like 3.5 weeks to figure it out, so I figured I'd ask you about it. Because you're like my, you're my Yoda right now. My Obi-Wan to my Anakin.
You just assume I drive fast?
No,
thanks.
That's not what I mean.
This is what I tell the police when I get pulled over. I'm sorry. You are assuming I was driving fast? Sir, please step out of the vehicle.
They get you. It's because I have a Mustang, Anthony.
Yeah, yo comprendo.
Yeah, because you got a sports car too,
Well, my old car was a Camaro, and yeah.
They like to pull you over.
Oh, yeah. Tinted windows, Camaro, Mustang. Those cars are just cop magnets.
Well, that's what you sign up for when you have the car, right?
Exactly.
You know that's what you're getting into.
Yep.
You're a big target.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get that. I get where you're coming from. But yeah, and I'll end up paying it. It's just I figured.
I mean, you could spend a ton of time and then somehow work it where the cop is busy that day. But that's the long con.
So you think I should figure out this cop's work schedule?
I think you should. Well, okay. Hold on.
Let's get into this.
This is not good advice, but you could dress up as something.
I'm into it so far.
Okay. Get his schedule, and then somehow try to get him off his schedule for that one specific day. I can't think of anything specifically, but...
Okay. So when you're thinking of me dressing up, what am I dressing up as?
Like a UPS dude, and you deliver a fake, something like you need to be here right now, or maybe just mail him the ticket back with his name on it.
Like, this is your ticket now.
This is your ticket now.
I think that would work. That does not work. You got this ticket in the mail. It's got some other kid's name. Wait a minute, I pulled this kid over the other day.
Yeah, but then when you're in court, you'd be like, Judge, does this make any sense? This is law term here. Would a reasonable person dress up as a UPS person, somehow scan the ticket,
right?
Professionally Photoshop that ticket, take off tons of time to figure out his schedule, hand deliver it to him? Does that make any sense?
And the judge has to say no.
Yeah.
Judge has to say no.
Judge would be like, Mr. Officer, this guy's clearly got a watertight case right here.
Yeah.
No reasonable person would ever go to these lengths to save $130.
I would have logic on my side because of how illogical it was.
Exactly.
And then you pan to the right, and like the cop that gave me the ticket is like at wit's end because I've been messing with his life for like a week.
He ends up quitting the force, getting depressed. Loses his family. I mean, whatever. Whatever's $130 worth to you, Austin. That's what you have to decide.
I think it's worth it.
It might be worth it.
I also like the idea
Don't
of
bring me in on it.
Anthony told me to. Judge finds out I'm lying the whole time.
No, that's a terrible idea.
I like the idea of becoming like a train operator just for a day. And if he has... Yeah, I suppose.
Sorry. You could be one of those toy train operators.
You're right, but that's not going to yield me the results that I need.
Okay.
So I'm going to be a train operator.
Okay.
Conductor for one day. I'm going to somehow, infiltrate my way into a train. If he has... I'm not going to run him over if that's what you're thinking. That's not where I'm going.
I'm following you.
Okay. If he has train tracks near his house,
mm-hmm.
just freaking stop that sucker.
Yo comprendo.
For hours. Days even. Can he get to work? No.
Just keep running the train back and forth. Like, why is this train went that way for 5 minutes, now it's going that way for 5 minutes?
Forgot my wallet.
And then I could be in the van behind him. Yeah, I forgot. The conductor.
Sorry, guys.
We gotta go back to Seattle. Sorry.
Come back. It gets to the end of the train, so forgot my headphones.
There's my wallet.
Gotta go back again.
Oh,
that's
Lord.
really specific, though, and there has to be a train track near his house, and that might not be the case. So.
And then if he tries to explain that to the judge would be like,
that's even crazier.
Do that. Exactly.
That's even crazier.
See, look at all these good ideas, Austin.
You're right, and I thought this was just going to be me showing up to court and hoping he wasn't there.
You know what? This weekend, blow that 130 on just whatever.
Whatever I want, yeah.
This is solved.
Because it's like a gain at this point. I agree.
Exactly.
Plus, like, all the insurance money that I won't have to pay now. That's amazing.
That's true. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Then,
This is good. I'm glad we talked this out.
Yeah, there we go. I'm glad, we're working things through this podcast.
Yeah, so in summation, I'm probably just going to pay the ticket. But anyway.
Yeah.
So, I know you wanted to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's been on your mind for a while.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting for you. And I understand why it's exciting.
Okay.
Your trip out west.
Oh, yes.
You're going to leave the great state of Ohio.
Uh-huh. The heartland of America.
Yeah, the land of America. And you're going to go venture off into the west, starting California.
Seattle.
Washington, my mistake.
Thanks for knowing so much about me.
Look, we're not really friends. We just do this for the...
Yeah, I don't even actually know you.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
this
guy actually just wandered into my house one day.
Yeah.
And I had microphones set up, so we just started talking to each other.
Yeah, I'm actually tied up in this basement.
Yeah.
Please send help.
I'm going to cut that part out. But anyway, so your trip, tell me about it. Why are you going on this trip? What is this trip going to entail, and what are you going to do?
So this trip is dubbed Fro Solo, and I only named it that because it rhymes and sounds and looks cool.
And it sounds like a Star Wars fan fiction character.
I don't even
like Han Solo's long lost son or something.
Okay, yeah. It's like Fro
universe.
Solo. It's like, is this like Han
it's
Solo's
like
son? No, he just likes going on trips by himself.
If Han Solo had a kid with like Lando.
That's really good. Yeah. I wonder if I'll get that out there.
I hope so. Continue.
No, so I'm subscribed to the Reddit subreddit R Solo.
Okay.
Or Solo Travel, rather.
Yeah.
And it's all about people traveling, usually around to like Australia, Southeast Asia, Europe, things like that.
Yeah.
For months at a time. And I find it incredibly intriguing because it just seems like an adventure, and you're on your own, and you're not just by yourself the whole time. That's not really the point. Like, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't. So you travel by yourself, yeah, but you meet up with people or just hang out.
Right.
And then some people don't want to meet up with people. That's fine. It's really tailored to however you want because you're the only one there.
Right, but you go and you acquire everything after you get there, right?
Well, so I'll be packing kind of light, but
sure.
I mean, I'll have like a rental car after Seattle. And the whole reasoning for doing this is I kind of like got out of contact with my buddy in Seattle, Calvin. Shout out to Calvin.
Hey, Calvin.
I used to work with him at Walgreens. So this is kind of like pseudo Walgreens story mixed with whatever.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah. Side note, Anthony used to
I gotta put a Walgreens in here.
You gotta throw a Walgreens in there. Classic Anthony Walgreens story.
Yeah. So I kind of was in contact with him for a while, and I decided something hit me. And I've never seen the West Coast my entire life. So I've been in like Puerto Rico. So I've been all around like the eastern part of the United States. I've been out west to like Yellowstone up to Montana, but never could quite ever found my way over there.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of been a mini dream of mine growing into a bigger dream of mine.
Yeah.
And I finally just said, why don't I visit Calvin in Seattle,
right,
and then just burn down the coast as far as I want. And then I realized I planned it's a long story, but I planned a trip a while ago. It fell through, and we were gonna road trip to Santa Cruz and then go up the coast and then drive back home up through Montana and South Dakota and all that.
Gotcha.
It fell through, so I'm kind of just like solving the West Coast thing.
Yeah.
I have this West Coast problem, and I'm solving it now.
I know what you mean, yeah. And this is the perfect opportunity because you got your friend over there, right?
Yeah, and I know a couple other people out there, so...
Yeah.
So, my endpoint is going to be Santa Cruz, because I want to see the Redwood Forest as well.
Yeah.
But that was my endpoint on my other trip, too, so it's kind of like symbolic.
Right.
So I'll be going from Seattle to Portland. So I'll be in Seattle for 3 days, Portland 2 days, Crescent City 1 day, 1 night, just as like a rest.
Yeah.
From Crescent City to San Francisco for 2 or 3 days.
Jeez.
This is just tentative plan.
Right.
It's pretty early.
Outline.
And then San Francisco to Santa Cruz for 2 to 3 days.
Dang. So how many days total is this trip? Like you're leaving on and coming back. I have to add it up
now. So I think originally it was 11. It might be more. So I added a day in Seattle just because I realized it wasn't going to be it would have been more of like a hey, see ya.
Yeah, right.
You know, and that's just
you want to take it in a little bit more than that, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days. So I have a floating day for San Francisco and Santa Cruz. And then again, this is a tentative plan. I still have other people to talk to that live out there. So I've just been kind of busy, and just during the week I just don't think about it. But I have like other connections to talk to, mainly Heather. And then our buddy at work has a friend in Portland.
Yeah.
Might meet up with her, maybe not, whatever.
Yeah, so you've got people that you could meet up with, right?
Yeah, it's mainly just to show me around. And then another friend, Chi-Town has a friend out in Portland. This dude that used to be in a band, he's also out there. So he might, maybe. There's a bunch of maybes, whatever, which is fine. Like, I can handle it on my own. But, like, Portland, I feel like it would be good to have people like, hey, these are like the cool spots. Like, I like hole-in-the-wall bars with like live music. So, yeah, I don't know. Because I'll only be in Portland for 2 days. So, I'll be with Calvin in Seattle. Portland's like my first, like, whatever. So, I don't know. I think that would help me get a grip on the trip.
Yeah, it sounds like the perfect like blend of structure and also lots of maybes.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
so you have this very rough outline of what you want to do with a bunch of stuff that you could do.
Exactly.
Right? So you're not super tethered to plans because that can totally ruin a vacation.
That's true. Yeah. So I didn't want to make it super rigid, and again, I have to like talk to people. This is just a very, broad idea. Yeah. And the reason why I have a broad idea is because I bought the plane tickets. That's the big news. So I've been talking about this for quite a while with people out there, people here, but not necessarily people out there, but the people here definitely. So I've been talking the talk, and then I finally bought the plane ticket. Yeah, I bought the plane ticket to Seattle because it was at a good price, and then I quickly realized, oh crap, I got to figure out my return to also get that at a good price, and then I did that. So now I have my window. So then I gotta.
Dude, it's actually happening now.
Toy around with that. Yeah, it's definitely happening.
That's freaking crazy.
I'm very excited. When I bought the tickets the night of, like, I was excited buying it, and then I got that nervous excitement. I never really got the full nervousness.
Yeah.
But I love nervous excitement.
Yeah.
So when I do new things and I get that nervous excitement, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like, it always, like, whenever that happens, new person, new trip, new area.
Yeah.
On my own. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, because when you get past those nerves and you conquer that.
Oh yeah, well, it kind of like lets me know, just because it kind of lets me know that an adventure is about to happen.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's I just love it.
Exactly what you mean. Yep. That sounds like the solo trip I had on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Like very late last year, and we've talked about it pretty extensively. But like, I did that solo thing. It turned out the reason why I went was because like I ended up having too many vacation days at the end of the year. Thought I was gonna have to carry them over. Ended up having to use them this year or last year. So I was like, well, shoot, there's a PlayStation press conference in San Francisco. I'm gonna go. If I can find people, that's awesome. But I probably won't be able to. So it's probably gonna be a solo trip. Ended up being a solo trip, and just like you're talking about, like going by yourself and like having an idea and an idea of people that you might meet. Like I've got these Facebook groups that I'm in. I don't necessarily know people that are in there, but I know that a lot of people are going to be there in those groups.
Oh, yeah.
So I can find friends when I'm there, but going in completely, no supply. Well, I had supply, I had clothes and everything.
Yeah.
No plans necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, you got to navigate and
exactly. It's a city I've never been to. Before that, I'd never been west of Illinois.
Oh, wow.
So I went to Chicago, and then, like, for San Francisco, completely skipped all the other middle states.
Yeah.
And just went straight to the West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty awesome. Yeah, and like you said, it's a complete adventure. Had that nervous excitement, and when you're by yourself, you really have to force yourself to talk to people. Unless unless it's people that you already know. You're like, okay, we're gonna hang out, call, make plans. Right. But like, if you don't know people out there, you don't know anyone out in California, you don't have any friends out there, and you go by yourself, it's like, you really have to force yourself to go and be social and go talk to people and make new friends and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, it's fun by yourself and you can go do stuff by yourself, but, like, those experiences and memories are, like, better than anything else. Oh, because, like, you can be whoever you want to be, right?
Exactly.
And it's not like I'm going to go off and be, like, a crazy.
So I could just go as, like,
You could go as, like, I mean, Yoda from Star Wars if you wanted to.
I'm from Toledo. You're like, that is not a Toledo accent. Or Toledoan, or whatever that is.
Toledan? I don't know.
I'm from Toledo.
Taletian?
A Taletian accent.
I like Taletian.
Maybe I should do that. I'll learn that.
Or maybe it's like, if you're from Louisville, it's just...
I'm from Louisville. Louisville.
Yeah, dude, that sounds fantastic. So, like...
Super excited.
What are the biggest things that you're excited about on these trips?
Oh, man, the unknown, really.
Yeah.
I mean, meeting the people, obviously. Yeah. I should have put the people first.
Yeah, the people are second.
But, no, I think the nervous excitement derives from just the unknown. So, like you said, a new city. So
Yeah.
I mean, you could be used to airports, but it's still different. Arriving in Seattle, now I got to figure out how to get from Seattle because Calvin doesn't have a car, so it's like figuring out right off the bat. And to save money, I kind of want to Uber the first 3 days in Seattle, and then get the rental car and then start busting down south.
Know what you mean?
Yeah. So and then even in the cities, I'll probably just have the car just parked and then Uber around. But it's the quick just doing things, and then it's up to the next city. So it's going to be like quick, rapid bursts of that nervousness. Like the next morning, it's going to be like, oh, here we go.
Yep. It sounds like it's going to be like a week and a half minimum trip.
Oh, yeah.
Minimum.
Yeah. It's 11 or 12, whatever I said before.
So you're going to be so gone from work that it's going to be like completely detached from your normal life, too.
Oh, yeah. I actually
mentally detached.
Recently thought of that. I'm like, first off, probably won't want to come back. Secondly,
you're not going to want to come
back. I don't know. So I'm not sure. I'm sure I'm going to be exhausted because it's kind of exhausting just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I know I'll persevere. I'll bust through it. Just keep on partying.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt, Anthony.
Yeah, I can't wait to meet the people I know already. I can't wait to meet new people.
Yeah.
I can't wait to meet
people you don't even know exist yet.
People that don't even know they're about to have me in their lives. They have no idea.
They don't know they're about to get a personal episode of the Anthony and Austin Show.
Exactly. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. That week or even 2 weeks. I think it's just that 1 week.
We should do a Skype episode.
I was thinking the same thing.
Are you serious?
If I could. So it's looking like if we keep up with the Thursdays, I'll either be in San Francisco or Santa Cruz.
So we'll have to get time zones in line. Because you're going to be 3 hours
3
behind.
hours.
Yeah.
Ahead, or behind. Correct,
yeah. Dude, that would be sick.
That would be pretty crazy if I could do that like in a beach or in some crazy spot.
We could figure that out. There are podcasts that do that.
Oh, yeah.
From a beach.
Definitely.
So would you feel like on your phone?
Maybe I could do it from an Uber in the front seat. How everybody...
Dude.
I always find myself in the front seat of the ride.
I want you to just be walking around the whole time.
Just like get people involved.
Yeah.
Might do that. Maybe I'll bring a guest that I've never met before except for that day.
Yeah, at first I was thinking like you being in your hotel room on Skype, but now I'm liking the idea that you're just on your phone and walking around.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, because Bluetooth. Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, we'll have to brainstorm on that.
We will 100%
that
This could be awesome.
It's like a those TV shows when they start not getting stale, but they start
they start doing crazy stuff,
cliche ideas. Yeah. So then all of a sudden like It's Always Sunny goes to the East Coast.
Yep. Yeah. I
Yes.
like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I'm actually, now that we're talking through it right now, it was just like a slight side thought, and I was like, interesting. Because I know some podcasts do have people calling like that.
They do.
But if I have Wi-Fi, it should sound good still.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work.
Yeah, I think we can.
You say you'll be in San Francisco?
Or Santa Cruz. I have a float day between those two cities to figure out. I added a buffer right there.
Okay.
Just in case.
What's that exact? Well, I mean, we'll talk exact dates later, but...
Yeah, so I'll be going out in late August.
Okay. So we got a while to figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be well established by
then. Already bought the plane ticket, so that's...
We'll have sponsors by then.
Yeah, we'll have to make our own companies to sponsor ourselves, but no, I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's the same thing, right? We can put in fake ads.
We could just make our own sponsors and just say we're sponsored by whatever. Pokemon.
Yeah.
Bud Light.
Pokemon. Those are both real things.
Anheuser-Busch sponsors us.
Those things all exist already. Those are not made up.
Well, I'm like thinking other things, so.
If we can get sponsored by Pokemon, I would just retire already. I don't even need any more money. I don't need any more accolades. My life is complete.
Yeah, but what happens if they just pay us in Pokemon plush dolls?
That's literally all I need, Anthony.
Maybe you. I tried to sell them on eBay and just get disgruntled.
Austin quit his job because we get a bunch of Pikachu stuff.
He's living off of Pikachu plush. Hey, you never know.
Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah. That actually kind of perfectly ties into the next thing I wanted to talk about. Okay. Which is like leaving society and living in the woods if you wanted to.
I love it.
Yeah, so let me put some backstory on this first.
Great.
I've been kind of like under the weather lately a little bit. Don't worry, I'm not going to get you sick. It's not going to happen. Yeah. Thanks.
No, I mean,
thanks a lot.
Austin, you look like crap.
Thanks, I know.
I'm just kidding.
Like, I try to hide it.
He does look like crap.
Obviously, I'm not living up to Anthony Gorman's standards.
Yeah, you know.
But anyway, like... perfect. I've been under the weather recently, and because of that, you know when you're sick, it's like your brain's all hazy and stuff, and you're not necessarily super focused on everything that's happening, and it's hard to focus on conversations and stuff. So your brain wanders a lot. Mm-hmm. Because of that, my brain's been wandering a lot. And it's been leading me down interesting paths of thought that I don't usually go down, right?
Okay.
Right? So it's like, I don't drink or anything, or like do any sort of like drugs or something.
Psychedelics.
But I feel like these are the kind of things that you think when you're on such things, right? Okay. So I'm at work earlier, and this is even better because it happened at work, right? I wish everyone could see all the hand motions I'm making.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. But yeah, I was at work, so I'm at work, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm looking across the desk at someone. They're typing.
Did their face melt?
Their face did not melt.
Okay.
But it may as well have.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But yeah, so I'm looking at these people. They're typing about something, right? They're typing about something work-related, looking at a computer. They're getting all in a fuss about it. Yeah. And, emotionally attached to whatever they're doing. Mm-hmm. And I have a moment of, like, we'll call it clarity. Yeah. Right? Where I go outside of myself and I'm like, these people are freaking out about things that don't matter. Right? Right. And if we take a step outside of ourselves and look at, and it's even right now, it sounds like I'm being totally trippy and stuff, right?
No,
okay. But like, if we take a step outside of ourselves and we remove ourselves from like reality and quote unquote
our daily like routine,
and society and like the norms and structure that we're used to, none of anything really matters, right? And specifically, like getting worked up about typing something for like. To ship like paper towels from a galactic standpoint is completely meaningless.
Just so someone can clean up FIFO's mess.
Exactly. So I'm thinking all this and like, you could take this in a really depressing way if you wanted. Like, nothing matters, I'm depressed, why would I do anything with my life? And like, I could totally see how that would happen, but really, the trick is, that's actually the most liberating thought that you can have.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Because it's like, if nothing matters, and like, we're just dots on a globe.
A pale blue dot.
Why would we have any reason to do anything other than what we want in this life, right? I want to like obviously put like a disclaimer, like if your passion is murdering people, you should probably still not do that, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, Austin, we live in a society.
yeah, exactly. But like, if we take that step back and say like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, really, like I said, there's no excuse for doing anything other than what you want to do.
Fun, right?
Fun, yes. Having fun, working towards goals, right? Like I said, this is caused by me being sick, and being sick has somehow caused some crazy level of introspection.
Do you have, like, maybe a brain amoeba?
I got some medicine from Kroger.
Oh, that'll probably take care of it.
Brain amoeba? Did you say brain amoeba?
Is something eating your brain? No.
You keep trying to bring up these brain amoebas.
Yeah,
You brought them up at work the other day.
My lord. Yeah,
Is that your go-to now?
I'm not sure.
I hope I don't have a brain amoeba.
So that's interesting.
I think it's just a cold. I think it's just I have a cold.
Yeah, you can start getting like out of I guess.
Out of whack.
I don't know. For a second there, I thought you were having an out of body experience, but no, I like your sentiment. I agree 100%. Like, a lot of times when I get overly stressed, I do think like just like you said. Yeah. Like, and I've even watched like that Neil Tyson deGrasse documentary or whatever. Like space documentaries are unbelievable, just to like put your life in perspective. Yes. Like, it's not to like abandon all responsibilities or people in your lives. It's just a different aspect, like viewing the Earth from like far away, where it's like a pale little blue dot in the sunbeam of our solar system, kind of puts a perspective on how little our stresses should actually stress us out.
Exactly.
So that, I think you are doing it the most in the most healthy manner, really.
Right. Yeah.
Like you said, if you are like, if nothing matters and you just want to do what you do for fun, but what you do for fun is murdering people, obviously you don't want to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a
good
tool
about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a good like mental like exercise into calming oneself down. I love it. Exactly. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, like you said, like it puts your stresses in perspective.
Exactly. Yep.
So get rid of the stresses and focus on what's making you happy.
That's 100%.
Because then you have all of that excess mental space that was being taken up by the stresses,
yep.
that you can then incorporate other things in your life that make you happy, like doing a successful podcast.
Exactly.
Every Friday morning.
Subscribe every Friday morning.
But yeah, so I mean, those were just kind of the thoughts that I was thinking, like being sick today at work and stuff. So, and the other thing I want to touch on is like, this is why it's important periodically or even constantly, you know, just to take a look at yourself and ask yourself, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Yeah. Right? Because it's so easy to get caught up in, and I don't want to sound like a hippie or anything, but we'll call it the machine.
Hey, hippies are fine.
Hippies are great.
We live in the machine,
right? Where it's like you go through school, you graduate high school, go to college, you get a job because that's what you're quote unquote supposed to do, right? That may not end up granting you the happiness that you want, right? Yeah. So if that's not for you, then you want to take a look at yourself and say, am I doing this because other people have told me to, or am I doing this because this is what I need to do to get to where I want to be in my life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And it's getting a little deep.
I'm totally following you.
But like, yeah.
I actually had a thought this morning, something similar to this. It's
really?
Actually on my notes that I was.
Really?
I'm not even
joking. On the same wavelength.
Now, if you follow me, it relates to what you're talking about.
Yeah, the video I'm talking about.
So I realized this morning that I may be an NPC player in a simulation.
Reading, okay. Okay, elaborate.
It was kind of a mini epiphany.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've heard of simulation theory.
Yes, I've heard of simulation theory.
Okay, awesome, perfect.
Yeah.
So I've heard about it on Joe Rogan's podcast. It's a fun like mental thought. So briefly, simulation theory is like where technology gets so advanced that we can replicate real world, we can replicate people and emotions, everything. So what we're in right now is like an actual simulation, and it's literally impossible for us to distinguish if we are in a simulation or not. Yep. And the fact that we're getting down to like the quantum mechanics, things are starting to get weird and more of like programming. So all these people are starting to come up with these theories. So one person's comment in this news article I was reading, this article was for a while ago. This morning I was just like brainstorming, on my way from site to site. So I did read this comment that this person said, oh, great. So I'm my own player in a video game, so there's some alien life form playing me. My life is so boring that I don't believe it, whatever. And the person right below him, saying basically, why would anybody play my life? My life is like shit or boring, really.
Sure.
So the person right below him says, why do you not think that you're not an NPC? Basically a non-player character in a game.
Wow. That's profound.
So it's like, in order for, say this whole world, this planet, this is going to get, you talk about hippie, this is about to get like, theory hippie here.
This is getting like Bonnaroo levels of hippie right now.
This is hippie in theory. Yeah. So if you are to create an entire world for one player to try to maybe, it's just a fun thought game to do,
mental
just
experiment,
mental experiment.
Yeah.
So if one person says, hey, I want to try to rise up from poor to the riches, or I want to be a superstar, or I want to be this or that, but it's got to be real. It's got to be real, or say this company, this whatever. The technology gets so good at the rate it's going that they can do this. How do you do it where it's so authentic that when you're the person paying for this service or whatever cannot tell that it's not real or not? They want the full experience as like a whatever. So you would need all these people to be like NPCs.
Dang.
Yeah, so and like if technology if you're following technology and how rapidly it's increasing, it's going on a scale that's just unbelievably unprecedented. The fact that we went from the early car to what we're doing now is unbelievably amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Quickly.
Unbelievably. In like 3 generations.
Rapidly.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as it keeps going, it's foreseeable.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like theories out there like that, but it was just amazing. And then when you think about that, then it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like what we were talking about now that I'm talking about it. Maybe not. But it's kind of like our stresses are not, like who knows? Yeah. No one really knows. I don't really believe in that. But sure. Your space thing, 100%.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say I do either. No. But, it's a fun, like, you can't prove it's not that way.
Exactly.
Right?
It's just a fun, like, thought process. And it, like, gave perspective, like...
Yeah, it's like a brain trick.
Like, where everybody thinks they're the number one player in their world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe
so it kind of, like, makes you think, like...
Maybe you're just the guy in the first town that says go to the shop and buy a potion, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you're just that dude on the side of the street.
I'm not player number one. Yeah. Basically.
Maybe you're not.
Maybe you're an NPC.
Maybe I'm the NPC.
Which, for the non-gamers, NPC is a computer-controlled character in a video game. So it's like a fake thing.
Yeah, totally. So, like, if you're playing a game and you walk up to, like, another dude in the game, it's not actually another player, right? Yeah. You hit a button, you talk to him, and he says, like,
and you need those players, or you need those characters in games.
Because they facilitate the story and the rest of the game, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So are we just facilitating someone else's game right
that's now? That's the thought process. So it's like, who's the player? Or how many players? Or are we all players?
You never know.
It's a fun, I don't know. It's it's different. So, I don't know. It kind of ties into it a little bit.
It does. Definitely something exciting to think about.
In the end, the moral of all these wacky hippie things is don't sweat the small stuff.
That's all I'm trying to say. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think we're on the same page.
I think we are too. So, back to what you were saying about technology increasing rapidly, right? I was watching a video on Facebook, because Facebook's the best. It never fails. Yeah. No matter who you follow, people are always, like, posting cool stuff. And if you get rid of the people that are posting, like, acidic, like, political stuff all the time, Facebook can be a pretty funny place. Yeah. A pretty cool place. But somebody on my Facebook wall posted something about a dude who, his initial idea was to see if he could pay with everything with a card. Right, just a credit card.
Credit card, okay.
Fine, just digital like an easy little experiment, right? Uh-huh. It then became, if I go to Sweden, Sweden's like way more advanced than the United States in kind of that aspect.
Really?
Not only can he pay for things with like Apple Pay, Android Pay, almost everywhere, and use his credit card, but he found a place where he could get a chip implanted into his hand.
An RFID chip?
Yeah, like a near field kind of communication, like where and he can go into a store that uses something like Venmo or Apple ID or something, and they can scan his hand, and he can pay that way. So that is the genesis of like modding yourself and like human modding. Yep. And that's happening now. That's like something that seems like you'd play it in like a video game. Like
there's that one video game that's
Deus Ex,
about,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Human Revolution.
Yeah, people are electing to chop off their arms and legs for robotics.
Yeah, for like robot arms and legs? Yeah. So I guess my question to you is like...
That's foreseeable, honestly.
If we get to that future, is that something you think you would adopt?
Oh, so I kind of did. It's kind of extreme like a chip, so I got LASIK. That's...
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like...
I mean, it's not like putting... Okay, I mean, it's kind of like that. Not really.
You're zapping yourself.
Yeah. But people are, augmenting their body with technology every day, right now already, and it's, crazy. Getting more prevalent. And, on Reddit, I remember seeing someone with a bionic arm, and it just looked so... Like you said, video game-like. And they painted it matte black instead of, like, the normal, like, skin tone. Yeah. And it looked really cool. I mean... At this juncture, still these days, I would rather have a regular arm, but like you got the Blade Runner with the blade legs. I mean, he can run like crazy fast. Like, he's in jail right now, but don't murder people.
Yeah, like we said earlier, don't murder people. If that's your passion, if that's your passion, you got to pick up knitting.
That might be the moral of this podcast. That's a pretty good moral.
I agree. Maybe that's what we should name it. Austin and Anthony's Don't Murder People.
Well, people might listen like, what in the world are they talking about?
Yeah.
But no, I can totally see it. I can see people doing that, even if there's nothing wrong with their limb or eyeballs. I mean, Google's already developing. They went from Google Glass, and they have. I think they hinted about how they're working on contacts that will be like augmented reality, so you can see an image on like a contact.
Well, so it's like, okay.
I think they're having issues powering it, but
I imagine because it's like it's so small. But so that would be like you're looking out your normal eyes and it's clear and normal and you see normal, but like stuff will pop into reality.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you needed to bring up, if I'm looking at one of your posters and I'm intrigued by a character on it, I can just say, okay, Google, search image, and then it would like give me a box, and I would put the box over the image I wanted on your poster.
Yeah.
And then it would pull up things, and then you could just scroll down somehow.
Insane.
But I think they're trying to work on powering it with like body heat and things like that.
Wow.
Yeah, things are getting interesting.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, or wireless charging from like something close on your head, things like that. Yeah.
That's gonna be something that we that we have to deal with soon.
I'm looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward to the augmented body. I don't think I would chop off a limb though.
No, I wouldn't either. It's gonna start with safe stuff, right? Like this chip thing in your hand.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's gonna start with the cheap, like the
Totally
easy and like not super obtrusive stuff.
Yeah.
But
because you could have a your front door auto open with that chip in your hand. Your car door, lots of things.
Because phones do that now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if it's just inside of you, you don't need to carry around a phone anymore, or something like that.
Definitely. Yeah, I could totally see that. But yeah, whole limb. I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know. If anything, it's definitely not something that I would jump on like in the beginning, because like video game consoles or like PCs or like graphics cards for you or something like pre-order, get it on the ground floor, get it first, right? Yeah. That's totally how I am with that stuff. Yeah. Because if it goes wrong, it's not going to destroy my spinal column.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, like, with something like this, completely waiting until the first iteration, the second iteration, the third iteration until I get out all the kinks, or at least most of the kinks, before I'd even attempt something like that. Because, like, you're putting something inside of you, like, inside of your hand or inside of your arm or anything that's like, oh, this might, like, make me, quote-unquote, a better person, but, like, it also might destroy you completely from the inside.
Yeah, you never know. It might start dissolving or,
Yeah, totally. So it's something just scary to think about. And I feel like it's going to, like, end up having some sort of, like, you know, religious connotations or anything, and people will be, like, against it because of that, which, like, totally, I mean, makes sense.
Well, humans always pick sides. Like, it's us versus them. Always.
Yeah.
So it's like us versus the augments.
God.
I mean, I think that's actually part of the plot.
That's actually the next game.
Yeah, Deus Ex.
Mankind Divided.
Yeah. That's where I got that from.
Perfect.
Whatever.
Yeah, sure.
But I think they're good enough now to replace something that's missing, like because we got mechanical hearts and stuff like that, and like arms for people that lose them. But I don't think they're good enough for people to chop off things yet.
No, you always see them. They're always kind of slower, and like it's hard to figure out how to attach them to your nerves. Yeah. And like make that work because
there's a lot of hurdles. I think a lot of it is brain to limb communication. Yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's got to be a challenging issue.
Yeah, because how do you do that?
That's
I don't know how to do that.
I mean, they did like the first like they can control a robot hand from across the world, you know, with like just your brain, but it's got all those electrodes on your head. That happened, I think, a couple years ago. The dude had like electrodes, but you have to think of a certain way, and all it does is map like the electrical things going on in your brain, and that tells a computer to then send a signal to an arm across the world. Yeah. That we can kind of foresee that because we do that stuff right now, like in podcasts. Like if I flew to Tokyo right now, I could just go online and listen to this podcast. Yeah. Like instantly. Yeah. So I mean, the infrastructure's there for that type of stuff.
That's a perfect word for it, infrastructure, right? Because everything has a base.
Yeah, I think we're on the cusp of that.
Yeah, because if you look at VR, look at the 80s. VR sucked, right? Oh, yeah. But now, like, we've got that as the foundation, as the base, and then we apply new technology and sciences to it, and it's something amazing that nobody would have expected to be.
Perfect
to
analogy.
Exist. So, like, if we look now and we see a dude's got a chip in his hand, we can only assume that with developing technology and the exponential growth of us, you know, like as a species and stuff, that we're gonna get to a point when someone's half robot, right? Oh, yeah. Or when someone's like more than half robot. And that's, I feel like, gonna be like, it could almost be like unifying or divisive at the same time. Because then you start getting into like AI taking over, like, you know, the human race becoming robots. And it's like,
I think Stephen Hawking's worried about that.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Elon Musk.
Yeah, AI is taking over the world and stuff.
Yeah, they fear that it will. They fear that humans will become their pets. So we're the creators of technology, and then it's just going to take off without us.
That's a very...
And they'll remember us as, like, the primal of themselves.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to think about.
Yeah, I don't know if, like...
So, another theory is that this is a big experiment, and they're seeing if the singularity will happen, which the singularity is the first true AI. Yeah. the first true
like a synthesis between a human and a computer.
That's the singularity. So some people think that if we ever come to the singularity, everything's just going to stop.
Just stop?
Yeah, it ties back into the simulation.
Sounds like a Y2K
theory.
thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. So the singularity is like a big deal to a lot of people because once we get true AI, things can get real dangerous if we don't. Yeah,
don't people like haven't people watched Battlestar Galactica?
Or like Terminator 2? I mean Arnold Schwarzenegger, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah, dude.
Lord.
God, crazy world that we live in. These things will be real very soon. Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So that's been about an hour, Anthony.
All right, yeah.
It's been about a good hour. We got real deep that time.
We got Techno Hippie there.
We did. We got Techno Hippie. This was all fueled by cold and Kroger brand Tylenol.
Yeah. So and me.
And Anthony.
This is just me.
Yeah. It's just like normal Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Good talk.
Yeah, this was awesome.
I enjoyed that. That was really cathartic.
Yeah, it was good.
If you enjoyed that, and you enjoy what we do here, you can tune in every Friday morning. It's going to be on Facebook. This is episode 3. Episode 10 is the last episode of the beta phase. After that, we're doing a full relaunch with a name, Facebook group, and everything.
Yep.
We'll see you next time, but for now, I'm Austin Flume.
Anthony Gorman.
And we will see you later.